I think a key part of Thomas's identity is its characters, and what's better about the characters is the character dynamics. Usually, very strong written characters like Gordon or Henry have these interesting dynamics, but there is one that wasn't very well established in the show, and one I would absolutely love to see. You all read the title of this video, you know that I absolutely love these two characters because I've talked endlessly about these two on my own channel previously, and that character dynamic in question is Gordon and Duck. I may hear you ask, why Gordon and Duck? Such a random pairing, these two barely even spoke in the actual show. Well, let me explain why. I feel like these two would be very interesting because there's a lot of parallels you can make with Gordon and Duck. Today I'll be discussing on how I would personally write their dynamic and why it's so interesting that they have so many parallels towards each other. Now, of course, this is my own personal take, so none of this has to be taken as hard fact. If you have a creative idea for Gordon and Duck, let me know down in the comments, or any other character dynamics. I mean, I would love to hear all of them, so please, let me know. This is the first analytical video I've done in a long time, so I really hope you enjoy, because I've been working on this idea for a while. So with that said, let's get on with the video, shall we? To gain a better knowledge of these two, let's discuss what their characters are. Whilst these two are one of the most famous characters in Thomas the Tank Engine, I think for a better understanding we need to look at these two back to back, and you'll find how many interesting parallels between the two there are. Starting off with Gordon, Gordon's character can be described like this. Gordon is a very prideful character, quite pompous and arrogant a lot of the time. Gordon is rather prideful of his work, seen in many episodes. As the main express engine of the North Western Railway, of course someone would be quite prideful of that responsibility. This all makes Gordon rather stubborn and not willing to hear others out a lot of the time, because of his job and status on the railway. Of course, this isn't what all Gordon is. I'm only discussing his negative traits, because it all connects with one other character. Who does those traits remind me of? Oh yeah, it reminds me of Duck the Great Western Engine, obviously. Duck is also rather prideful of his work, as seen in many episodes, and I also discussed this briefly in my Duck vs Oliver video a while back. It is on the playlist Me Analysing Thomas, by the way. Whilst Duck is more prideful of his work, unlike Gordon is more prideful of his self-image and job of the railway, there are a lot of similarities between the two, so let's all put them in a massive file, shall we? So here is the big list of all the similarities these two have. I'm not saying these two are the exact same character, they're not a copy of each other, but there are a lot of similarities I don't think anyone points out. Both very prideful, arrogant, can be kind-hearted, selfless, and very wise and intelligent on multiple occasions in the show. Now let's get into their good traits, because I think the good outweighs the bad for both of them, not just Duck. Starting off with Gordon, he, on many occasions, as seen in Down the Mine, Gordon and Spencer, and plenty of other episodes, especially in the hit era, Gordon is a rather selfless character, as what we have learnt. If there certainly is one thing that Gordon definitely isn't, it is selfish, which makes me truly believe that Gordon is the best Thomas character of all time. Meanwhile, Duck also has these similar traits. Whilst it's not seen as often as Gordon, I think the episode of Close Shave is a great example of that. Again, go watch my Duck and Oliver video for better information on this episode. Also, on many occasions, both have given very good advice to other engines. See Gordon and Spencer, or Duck in his very first episode, in fact. Again, this fills out a lot of similarities between the two. I think I should cover a different section now. Whilst it's been fun discussing this, now I'm going to discuss something even more fun. How I would write a story between Gordon and Duck. So let's go. Okay, for the story segment of our video, let's cover how I would personally write a story between Gordon and Duck. Okay, so here's how I would personally picture this. Whilst Oliver is in the work following an incident, Gordon is sent to work with Duck to repair a bridge. Gordon is needed because he's a stronger engine and can deliver all the heavy supports to build the bridge. As well established in Thomas and Friends, Gordon and Duck have a bit of a rivalry, which is very obvious in a couple episodes, but here it's really pushed forwards. With Duck supporting the city of Truro, being Great Western, and Gordon being Flying Scotsman's brother and supporting the LNER, these two have a very long feud and they constantly argue which railway is the best. And it's even mentioned in Revengeance, if you've seen that little clip. Please get that some more views, guys, I'm desperate. Whilst Gordon is working with Duck, Duck gets stuck on the points, and then Gordon accidentally crashes into his wagons. Duck didn't mean to, he wasn't paying much attention, but Gordon was coming in too fast with his goods train. Duck apologises, and then Gordon says something quite horrible to Duck. He basically says he's a clumsy and stupid engine just like Diesel, and seeing Duck and Diesel have a bit of a history, Duck is very offended by this. After the quite harsh comment, Gordon feels bad and tries to apologise to Duck. However, Duck is quite persistent not to forgive Gordon, and then Duck stops talking to Gordon. Gordon feels a bit bad because, Gordon is a complete monster, as a lot of people make him out to be. So he tries apologising again, but to no avail. This goes on for the rest of the week where they're repairing the bridge. However, one day, it all changes. Just as they're finishing repairs on the bridge, they need one more massive piece to be delivered from Vickerstown. Duck volunteers to take it, even though he knows it's too heavy for him. Gordon tries to say, "Duck, that is too heavy for you, let me take it." But Duck, being quite horrible to Gordon, says, "No, I'm not letting you help me after what you said." Gordon gets into a bit of a strop and then just puffs off. Whilst he does feel guilty, he's getting annoyed with Duck not being able to talk to him because of his stubbornness. Duck arrives at Vickerstown to deliver the heavy load, and then when he sets off, he struggles up the hill, but when coming down, he can't stop. He tries to apply his brakes, but he's going way too fast, and his brakes actually snapped whilst, racing down the hill at full speed. Gordon, waiting by Wellsworth, sees Duck rush past, and Gordon chases him down, using all his strength and speed possible. His fireman gets to the front of Gordon and couples Gordon up to Duck's train. Whilst they are slowly stopping, it doesn't end there. When Gordon and Duck were coming up to the repaired bridge, Duck actually dangles over the edge a bit. Gordon, just like how he did when he pulled Thomas out of the mine all those years ago, does the same thing for Duck. The bridge teeters, and as Gordon pulls up to safety, the bridge completely collapses. Duck, finally putting his anger and hatred towards Gordon aside, finally accepts his apology and thanks Gordon for rescuing him. He also apologises all the times he was a jerk to him and for ignoring him for an entire week. Gordon feels a sense of pride, but he also apologises to Duck for all the stuff he has done to him. They sort of form an alliance, maybe different wording how Thomas and Gordon form their alliance, but something similar, I guess. From then on, they accept their differences and even talk about their rows on the odd occasion. They become quite close friends. Never again they disrespect each other like that. I do apologise for this video being rushed because I need to get this out, but I hope you enjoyed. And hello everyone! First time I've done a face reveal on my channel. So, I'm doing one now because, I want all my fans, to see me at Tally Railway. If you want to meet up, I'll be at Tally on Saturday. Only Saturday, because I'm going home the day after. But, if you want to come see me, let me know. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. See you soon.